Hey, it's Dave. Welcome back to my channel. I'm now in the red room. So, all my guitars are right over here. You can see that's my Breedlove mandolin. Most of my amps are up here. I've got my, I don't know if you can see, but I've got a Marshall on an EVH 2x12. I've got a custom cabinet that has a Celestion that I changed, and the Vox Night Train. This is a single rectifier, Rectiverb, 50 watt. Then I have a 4x12 Mesa cabinet with my Mesa dual rectifier head on top that that was my touring amp when I played with the Big Angry, and my recording amp. It was the amp I basically used in the Big Angry. Above that is my Crank Revolution 1 Plus. Above that is Guy Fawkes and a Devo hat. Over here, it's hard to see. I have a PV 2x10 bass cabinet with an Ashdown M-Bass 2.0, and then I have a lunchbox. Over here, I have my Fender Mustang, and then I have various amps. I have my my Fender Hot Rod Deluxe is still downstairs because I keep that near the door. I gig with that all the time, and my Vox is down there. My acoustic bass amp is down there. And then I have some amps still in my room. The Line 6 I keep in there. And actually both Line 6 amps in my Behringer bass little toy amp that I play around with. But anyways, so for most of the gear is in here. And I figured I would do it from in here. So this is the new room, the new look. I want to thank everybody for the kind words that I get about Guitar Talk. We're going to be talking about more stuff. And I've had some interesting thing where people are asking me to be more in detail. You know, John and I basically freeform talk. We have a couple of ideas of what we're going to talk about that week. We will message each other and say, hey, I saw this article and this and that. We'll start talking. But for the most part, we don't really... The podcast is much more like an insight to the two of us just shooting the shit, talking, knowing there's an audience. But we don't really get too in-depth. And if somebody had more, somebody was asking about pedals and gear that we talk about. And I mean, if you had specific questions about them, we could do a Q&A. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say that if you have specific questions that you want John or I to answer on the podcast, we'll do a Q&A episode. Let's say the next episode is episode 5. So episode 6... 2 weeks, we'll do a Q&A. So if you have questions for us, we'll take your questions. You can email me the questions at dave44levine@outlook.com, I think. Something like that. And then we could answer them there for you. So I just put in the subject questions for podcast. And that'll be really cool. I'm going to be doing some more lessons coming up. I'm going to start a Patreon page. Well, I did, but I'm going to have content where people see, you know, where I'll add more in-depth lessons of stuff, because sometimes I really don't like to go that deep. And I also feel like if you need to read tab, you might want to take up another hobby. No, I mean, seriously, tab is cool if you're just trying to find out what the notes are. But a lot of times when I play it, it's pretty self-explanatory, unless something's out. And if something's out, then I'll mention that it's really not in what you would consider in tune, and there's like a blue note there, and I would bring that up. But for the most part, the stuff that I play, it's pretty self-explanatory. And there's lots of guys like Marty Schwartz on here that does real, like, detailed lessons telling you where your finger goes, and he's awesome. And for people that want to learn like that, that's the way to go. For me, it's much more like, you know, I'm looking for that lost chord, like when I go see a band play and I hear them and I'm like, ooh, but that's not the chord on the record, that type of thing. I think the acoustics in this room might be a little nicer, so when I play my acoustic, it'll sound a little nicer as well. But I just wanted to keep this short today, show off the new room, the new digs. And thank you for all the love, and more videos to come. Very good.
Without trying to make myself more important than I am, you have to play with me.
Right. Well, you're the rhythm guitar player.
Yeah, and you have to feel things the way I do. And there's a learning curve there, but having similar roots makes it easier.
You're right on target, right on the money, everything you said. You hit the nail right on the head with your comments, what you're saying today. You're 150% correct.